Guys, if you've watched MyPOVGuitar for any length of time, you know what a huge fan I am of the chord diagram. It is the best tool for beginner guitarists. I love it. And with MyPOVGuitar and the camera angle, they make even more sense. But it's still not exactly the way you're looking at the guitar, the way tablature is. Why is that? And should it change? Well, guys, it was bothering me so much that I did some research on it, and there is a reason why they're laid out like they are. Guys, this is going to be a more interactive type video. I want you guys to comment and let me know if you want me to change the way the chord diagrams are done in MyPOVGuitar. Guys, if you're not familiar with MyPOVGuitar, welcome. My name is Brandon. We transform you into a guitar player from your point of view. The verdict is in. This is helping people learn guitar faster because of the camera angle, the way I teach with farm logic, and an emphasis on muscle memory. So let's get into this video and let's see if we need to change the way chord diagrams are laid out. Okay guys, I guess we should first just explain what a chord diagram is and how it's laid out as we know it now. So let's take a D major. The chord diagram is laid out where it's 6 strings. The numbers indicate which fingers you put on which fret on which string. Okay, so it's laid out like the fretboard. Finger 1, finger 2, finger 3, pinky is finger 4. So if you see 1 there, that's on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, 1st finger. Okay? 2nd finger goes on the 1st string, 2nd fret. 3rd finger, 3rd fret, 2nd string, okay? So it tells you exactly where to place your fingers to make this chord, right? It's just looking at the neck. It also, with the X's and O's, tells you which strings to strum and which not. From the 4th down on the D major. So it's a great tool for beginners. I mean, it tells you exactly, it's almost paint by numbers, right? It tells you exactly how to make the fingerings. It's a great thing. But if you notice, it's kind of sideways. It's vertical. It's almost like that. So you're still having to kind of like turn your head to the side to see, you know, why is that? Like, it would be so easy just to turn that around and have it look exactly as it looks as you're playing it from your point of view, right? Tablature is laid out that way. Tablature is the 6 strings as if you're looking down the guitar. So the 6th string is at the bottom. So tablature and chord diagrams are not laid out the same way. They're close. Well, I did some research, and the reason chord diagrams are vertical is for left-handed players, because everything is backwards and it's not rotating it all the way, so it would be completely foreign. So it's to make it, because they're going to have to do more adjustments in the way they look at these chord diagrams in their mind than a right-handed player is, but it kind of splits the difference, right? Now look, I can totally empathize with, I am left-handed. I play guitar right-handed, okay? And believe me, the world is not made for us in a lot of ways. There are a lot of things that we have to learn to do differently. You know, even writing on a chalkboard presents challenges that it doesn't to a right-handed person, because we end up with chalk all over our hands afterwards. Tying shoes, all those things. And I've kind of become ambidextrous in a lot of ways. I shoot firearms with my right hand. I play guitar right-handed. I can throw a frisbee either way. But I write with my left hand. I throw a baseball, football with my left hand. You know, but I've adapted. That's what we do. So I'm totally sympathetic to the left-handed player who's playing left-handed. I'm much like a right-handed person. When I see it, it confuses the mess out of me. I'm trying to look at the way they're playing things. And I mean, you know, there's been famous guitar players that are left-handed and they just play a right-handed one upside down because it's just so different. So I think this was a way for the powers that be to make chord diagrams more applicable to a left-handed player. They're still going to have to do some mind tricks to get that to work in their head to figure it out, but not as much as if they just laid it out flat. My question to you guys is, do you want me in future episodes to lay them out? Here's a D major. Here's what that would look like. Here's an E major. That's the way the chord diagram is now. Here's how we could do it. I mean, it's exactly the fingerings. It's so much easier. I don't want to alienate any left-handed people out there. For sure, like I said, I can sympathize with them. But, you know, we're 10% of the population. The reason I have made the chord diagrams like everyone else does is because it is industry standard. And I don't want you to get too comfortable with one way and then have a different when you go somewhere else to look at a chord diagram and it throws you off. It's not that big of a difference, you know, either way. I mean, it's still, with this point of view and having it vertical, you can still make sense of it pretty quickly. But it's not as instantaneous as it would be if it were horizontal. I just don't want to make it too easy and then you have trouble down the road when you start looking at chord diagrams and none of the others are laid out like that. The program that I use to make them, the only thing that's going to be different is the numberings of the fingers are still going to be sideways. But as far as I can just cock that chord diagram around and make it horizontal. So my question to you guys is, and please comment below because I don't really know what to do. I don't think it's a big deal either way. You know, we're smart people. We can figure things out either way. If I leave it the way it is, you'll figure it out. But should I change? Should I change and just take even more guesswork out? Because that's what we do with MyPOVGuitar. Guys, let me know in the comments below. Guys, I want to invite you to go to MyPOVGuitar.com and check out the beginner course. We do take the mystery out. You can make payments on it now over 3 months. You can start today for $82. Guys, check it out. MyPOVGuitar.com, the beginner course, and we'll see you in the next lesson.